Alright guys, what's up? So this is a different type of video that you probably never seen before, but I just wanted to do something like this. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to Google. You cannot really see it on the screen clearly, but I'm going to Google right now and I'm answering questions directly from Google that people ask as beginners. I want to do this because I want to help you guys. I know a lot of beginners out there, they are very confused. They don't know exactly what should I do the first time I go to the gym, or what are some basic rules to follow. And that is the purpose of this video. Quick story. I remember having this one client, and as a trainer, I feel like we take a lot of things for granted. We think that everybody knows or should know the basic stuff. But I had a client once, and I told her to do leg press, right? Well, she was already on the leg press, and I was explaining to her like how to do leg press and what's not. And she basically didn't know how to operate the leg press machine. And if you know the leg press machine, it is very kind of straightforward and everything. So I thought that she knew how to do it, but I took that for granted, and she didn't know, and I had to was explain. After that, I changed my mindset and started saying like, I am not taking for granted that everybody knows everything. So if I could explain something to someone, even the simplest thing, I would love to do it. And that is what I've been doing ever since as a trainer. And I think every trainer should adopt this mindset. So now without further ado, I'm going to get in straight to these questions. So the first question we have here is, how often should I exercise? And I would recommend, as a beginner, you don't want to overdo it. You want to take your time. So how often you should exercise? I would say 3 times per week. That's it. 6 weeks, 3 times per week, right? Do not go over that. Do not go below that, because that is like the sweet spot that can give you enough, and it's not gonna overwhelm you because you're starting off as someone new to the gym environment. So you don't want to overexert yourself. And yeah, what time of the day is best to work out? This depends on your availability. Like, I know a lot of studies probably say, well, not probably, I heard a lot of studies saying that it's best to work out in the morning or something like that. But honestly, my opinion, I think it's best to work out in the morning as opposed to in the evening, because that is when you have the most energy per se, and it really sets your day up, sets your mood up, right? So like when you when you walk out in the morning time, it basically put you in that mood, like, yo, I conquered the day, I killed these weights today. Like, it was really, it was really energizing for me. Like, you feel more alive, so that is my recommendation, at least. But if you are pressed for time, if you don't really have time to work out in the day or in the morning, you can definitely do it in the night. It's not much of a difference, just your preference there. Number 3, how long should my workouts be? Now, I would say your workout should be at least 45 to 60 minutes, right? Or 30 to 60 minutes. And if you are if you're a beginner and you specifically want to get better in the gym, I would say 45 to 60 minutes. Now, bear in mind, you have to consider things like resting in between your sets and what's not. So ideally, if you're trying to like really gain strength or build muscle or what's not, you should take ample rest. And it is the rest that is going to really bump up your time to be longer than an hour, right? So for example, I'm following a program that I created for myself, and the program is not crazy. It's some simple movements, but the rest is 3 minutes between. And I realize it's the rest that is really bumping up the time to be an hour and a half. So in that case, it's okay. The exercise portion, when you actually lifting the weights, that is what is important, and that is what you should really try to stick within that 45 minutes range, which means that you shouldn't do a bunch of exercises. Hope that was understandable. Number 3, do I need to warm up before my exercises? Now, this is a very obvious answer. Yes. So you can either warm up like on the treadmill, doing like a 5 minutes walk. You don't want to do anything too crazy, too extensive, because you don't want to burn yourself out, especially if you're gonna lift directly after. So you're gonna do like a nice 5 minutes walk on the treadmill, the elliptical, the stairmaster, and that would suffice. You can also do warm-up sets, which means that you can, if you have squats for example, you can do, let's say, the first 2 sets as a warm-up. So if you have 3 sets of 10 reps for your program, do 2 extra sets in the beginning and count those sets as a warm-up set, to try to get your body into the groove or the motion of the actual exercise that you're going to be doing, in this case the squat. Next question: should I lift weights for strength training? Definitely yes. Lift weights for strength training, always. It's the best thing you could ever do. A lot of people don't really see it as that much important, but it's super important to lift weights. Like, lifting weights has so many benefits, right? But that's a different video for a different day. So, next question: do I need to, no, I said that already. Should I do strength training or cardio or both? Alright, so this is another tricky, like, not tricky, but yeah, it's another kind of like complicated question that people ask. So I see a lot of people do cardio, right? And that is totally fine. But understand that cardio is more so for your heart health and endurance. You're gonna get results, you're gonna burn fat if that's your goal, you're gonna feel better endurance wise, you're gonna be able to go up a flight of stairs without feeling winded, all that good stuff. But if you really want to see results, if your goal is weight loss, or as a beginner, you need to lift weights. And besides, when you lift weights, you're getting in the habit of doing something that is so important. It's gonna help you in the long run. Yes, cardio is good, you can run for 2 miles or 1 mile, but most people don't know how to lift. I think of it as a new skill that you're learning, how to lift properly and get stronger. You know what I mean? So that's the main goal. The main goal is for you to lift weights, to get stronger, to feel better, and to reduce the risk of injuries. Added to that, real quick, there's this thing called sarcopenia, right? Which is the loss of muscle mass as you get older, typically after the age of 30, 40 years old. So this can affect both male and female. And this is all the more reason for anyone who is around that age to work out. And studies have shown that people have improved their muscle mass, or they have reversed sarcopenia by simply strength training. So, super important. Yeah, we're doing good right now. We're doing good. Next, let's see what we have here. How often do I need to have rest days? You don't want to yeah, if you're a beginner, you don't want to work out every single day. You want to have at least 1 day of rest in between each workout days, right? So for example, if you work out on Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, you have Tuesdays and Thursdays as your rest day, and that is ideal enough. And you have those days plus the weekend, so that is perfect. You don't need to do anything else. As you get more advanced, then you can always switch it up, but for now, as a beginner, rest days in between each day that you work out. Last and final question. Let me see what we have here. So right here they're saying how often, no, I said already. How do I stay motivated to work out? Right? I personally believe that you stay motivated to work out when your goal is really important to you. Like, you have to understand that if you're trying to lose weight, for example, you have to figure out why you want to lose weight. The why in losing weight or working out is just to be healthier, is just to move better, is just to be more functional, to play with kids or what's not. You have to figure that out, and that should be most important. Because what I say is, yes, a lot of people put off their fitness goals, and they say, oh, I don't have time and what's not. But in the end, it's gonna cost you a lot, because you're not gonna be as fit and functional as you should be. So that should be motivation in itself. I want to be 90 years old and be able to move around, just like if I'm 40 years old or 30 years old. That's my goal. That's one of the reasons why I love fitness. So you have to figure out what's your goal. It's all about a mental thing, to be honest, when it comes to motivation. And you just have to get up and do it. And that's my honest opinion. So find your why, find your reason as to why you need to be doing this or why you started this. And every time you feel down or demotivated, remember that, bring that into your system, and basically use it to fuel you. So yeah, that's it for the questions. I will do the next part of this. I hope this was helpful for my beginners. My goal is just to help you get better and see results and not get injured, be safe, get energy, live longer, and all that good stuff. So if this video was helpful, go ahead and drop a subscribe. Let me know in the comments any questions that you may have, and I'll be happy to answer you. Thank you, and see you in the next one.